The old adage is the best time to plant a shade tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. We're going to talk about great shade tree options for the Kansas City area, including families such as maples, oaks, ginkgos, as well as some other plants that might fit specific niches for what you need in a shade tree. One of the best categories for shade tree in our area here is the maple family. There are several different types of maple that all do very, very well in our climate. They are adaptable to our soils, they handle our summers, they handle our winters. Some are a little faster growing than others. Red Point maple is our fastest growing maple variety. It is in the red maple family, so you get really good consistent fire engine red fall color. There are other maples in that same family that also provide excellent fall color and good rate of growth. Sugar maple is actually a native Kansas tree, and sugar maple gives you more of a mixed fall color, more in the New England look of oranges, reds, and yellows kind of all blended together. Although a little slower growing than red maple, it still is a moderate growth rate at 1.5 feet, 2 foot in a good year. Another great category in the maple family, especially if you don't need the size of a red maple or sugar maple, is the hybrid Norway maple family. Those are crosses made between Shantung maples and Norway maples that are smaller in stature, typically under 40 feet. They include varieties like Crimson Sunset, Ruby Sunset, Pacific Sunset. Again, excellent fall color, and in the case of Crimson Sunset, purple foliage through the growing season. So the Red Point is an excellent choice for a large growing shade tree, but with a little less width than its contemporaries, the Brandywine and the Sun Valley. Along with maples, another great tree for our area is the oak family. In the oak family, there are two distinct groups. There's white oaks and red oaks, and within those, multiple types. They are, for the most part, all cultivars of native oaks to our area, even a larger growing tree than most of your maples. Oaks can top over 50 feet, and a very aged oak can be upwards of 100 feet. The red oak family, including varieties like Shumard Northern Red, have a good deep red fall color. Most white oaks have more of a yellow fall color. The big difference in their leaf is also that a white oak family like this has rounded ends to their leaf, where the red oak family has more of a point. So within the oaks, there are also varieties that are specific to different characteristics, like a columnar form, like the Scarlet letter here. Or there are some that are not as broad, like Monumental, where they get the height, but not the width of their normal parent tree. Another great option for a shade tree in our climate here is the black gum. Black gum is a little smaller statured tree, generally maturing between 35 and 40 to 50 foot in height. Wildfire black gum is definitely the most colorful during the growing season. Wildfire produces tips of purpley red in its new growth. Fall color is a mixture of reds, purples, yellows, and some oranges. Also, one of my favorites is the Green Gables black gum. Green Gables does not produce the red new tip in the spring, but has a very consistent fire engine red fall color like many of the red maples, as well as a very nice shiny glossy green leaf. Black gums are adaptable to our soil conditions here, and although a little slower growing than the maple families, black gums have a very durable wood and handle our storms in our area very, very well. One thing that people get a little bit nervous of when we mention the name black gum is that this is the tree that produces the large, round, spiky fruit that is actually from a sweet gum tree, which is not in any way related. Black gum, particularly varieties like Wildfire and Green Gables, are actually sterile and produce no fruit at all. Another excellent shade tree for our area is actually a fossil. The Ginkgo tree. Fossilized records date back millions of years. A credit to the durability of this tree. Although a slow grower, Ginkgo wood is very, very solid. It is also one of the trees that has virtually no insect or disease issues. The leaf is also very unique on a Ginkgo, a fan shape with the veins running all parallel out to the tips. Ginkgos have outstanding golden fall color and a very unique characteristic in that when they start to drop their leaves, the tree will defoliate completely within 24 to 48 hours, leaving a carpet of gold on the ground underneath in the fall. Sometimes you're considering a shade tree and the area you're wanting to plant it in may be very wet, or have drainage issues. There are good options for trees that grow in wet soil, including bald cypress, which are just like this guy back here, and also your birch family, which have a very pretty leaf to them, as well as your willow family. These are all options for trees that literally cannot be overwatered. They are trees that love wet soils and do perform very well in our climate here. There are times when you just don't have the ground space to devote to a 30 or 40 foot wide shade tree. If you're still needing some height, but need a narrower form, columnar trees are generally trees they'll provide the same height as the others in their group, have 1/3 to 1/4 less width. They grow more upright with a narrower form, much like this birch tree. And they also come in forms in the ginkgos, the maples, as well as hornbeams for areas where you just can't handle the width of a full-size shade tree. Thank you for watching today. If you'd like to learn more, please visit our website, familytreenursery.com, and visit us in store to speak with one of our nursery experts.